I don't know about you guys, but I know I've personally been feeling stressed and confused and just really done with midterms because at Cal Poly they seem to go on forever. Uh, so I know that for me personally, I needed to find an outlet. My outlet I chose was sailing. Now I've been doing this for 4 years and previously in high school. And so I found that for me it's a good way to just get out, get a clean break, not think about school, and do something I love. Now sailing comprises of 2 parts. It's the mental and the physical. It requires a lot of mental thinking and preparation. As you can see in the little chart there, there's tactics, boat handling, boat speed, and strategy. Of those 3 components that make up sailing, only boat handling requires physical fitness. All of the others require mental keenness. In Colin Newman's 2011 article, The Psychology of Sailing, sailing racing boats is probably one of the most complex sports to master. No 2 races are ever the same. The sea, the tides, the wind are constantly changing. And to master the sport, you have to be able to take in a multitude of variables and respond appropriately. Even Ricardo Brandt, in his 2016 article, The Moods of Elite Sailors, sailing is a sport that requires an optimum emotional balance in order to create analytical decisions. And Dr. Rotendo, in his 2010 article, The Psychological Support in Top-Level Sailing, the most appreciated qualities in high-level sailors are their ability to make decisions. You have to be able to look at what you're doing and look at your competitors and see what they're doing, what makes them faster, and be able to replicate that. I found that it was this level of mental thinking in this sport that really requires me to get away from my schoolwork. I don't have to be thinking about my classes or what midterms come next. Instead, I'm really thinking about the race in front of me, the people around me, and what I need to do next to be better than the people. Now, sailing comes in 2 modes. There's competitive racing and there's cruising. Cruising tends to give a little bit more of a relaxed feel and gives the racers kind of a bad rap because people think sailing, it can't be that hard. Well, instead, there's quite a few physical requirements in racing. In Olympic sports, as Jay Moeller said in his 2015 article, Physical Requirements in Olympic Sailing, the importance of muscular strength has continuously increased in the numerous years because of the boats that are being sailed. And in 2010, in Neil Spurway's Sailing Physiology article, he says there's surely no other sport in which there's such diversity of the actions required by the participants. Now, in the top left picture, we have what is demonstrated as hiking. This is the more common mode done in college sailing. This is for sailing FJs, so they're smaller boats, 14 feet. And you are staying in the boat with a strap that's in the bottom of the boat. So you have your feet hooked under and you are leaning out, trying to counterbalance those forces. It requires a lot of ab and quad strength. In the top right photo, we have trapezing, which you are standing on the side of the boat and being held there pretty much by a wire that's connected to the top of the mast. And this is another very difficult position because it's pretty much like you're planking, but you're doing this for a half an hour on the upland legs, and you're still trimming in your sails. In the lower left-hand photo, we have the America's Cup teams, which are these big 40-foot cats. And in order to be able to move those boats, you have to grind up hydraulic pressure. And so to keep the boat actually being able to be sailed, you have to grind up hydraulic pressure so that you can move winches, trim in sails, and lower boards. And then in the lower right-hand photo, we have the FJ again, which is collegiate sailing, and we have roll tacking, which you would think is something you wouldn't want to do because you always hear the saying, don't tip the boat or don't rock the boat. But actually in roll tacking, the better you roll tack, the more roll you get. So you're pretty much leaning out as far as you can one direction and then jumping to the other side. By doing this, you're creating an increase in apparent wind and creating more acceleration. So sailing does require a lot more physical keenness than you would think. So that being said, I know after racing a full day, I am both physically and mentally exhausted. It creates like a new clean slate for me to begin my next day, and I feel refreshed and a lot happier after doing so. So I suggest to you all, do yourself a favor and try out sailing, possibly even join the Cal Poly sailing team.